Hey everybody, this is Delta 6 with DSS. Just wanted to say thank you guys for joining us on another video and supporting our channel by liking and subscribing. If you're new to this channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It's free, it doesn't cost a thing, and information that comes across this channel might be worth something to you one day. So we appreciate everything that you do, so definitely hit that subscribe button, or in 10 seconds, you're going to go in cuffs and you're going to jail. That's that simple. I'm just kidding. But thank you guys once again for joining our channel, and we really do appreciate it, and we'll get into the video right after this. Destroyed, until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I... So I wanted to discuss what y'all guys might do and how you feel about the way the bigger security companies price their contracts out. Recently, we have found a lot more and more that our bids for smaller companies are a little bit higher than the companies like Allied or these other bigger companies. And the problem is with that is they're making the industry pretty stagnant when it comes to financial income. So every year, obviously, the cost of living goes up, everything goes up, gas is going up, food's going up, rent's going up, and we got to pay our guys, a lot better to get some of these guys from these bigger companies that are paying them pretty decent, but at the same time, they're getting these contracts for half to three-fourths of the price that we're quoting, for just your standard patrol, whether it's a vehicle and foot patrol, 8 hours a day, or having a guy on site for 8 hours at a time. The overhead and everything, when you add all this into a contract and how many units there are, it doesn't matter who you are or what you do in your company or how better you are than Allied or any other big company. The problem is that these big companies want to save money. They don't care, because in their minds, security is just security. So we're constantly trying to reevaluate what we're doing, how we're bidding our contracts, so that we can actually get contracts to get more job sites, get more guys hired, and create a way to boost revenue in specific areas. So for us, some sites, they won't even pay us enough to have a full-time employee for 7 days. Whether we have 2 employees work that week or overtime, whatever the case may be, a lot of these contracts, they don't even pay us enough to pay these guys to work that extra 2 days out of a 5-day business week. And obviously security, we're 7 days a week. I mean, that's just the way it's always been. That's the way it needs to be, and it continues to be. And when you have a contract and you can't even afford to pay a full-time employee for 8 hours and a part-time employee for even 2 days a week, that's really pitting small companies, small business owners out of business, because they're trying to add all this in, and at the end of the day, they go shopping around for security and they choose the lesser value. And the bigger companies, they have the income, they have the money to do that. So it really makes it hard for small business owners and anyone wanting to open up a security company and hire guys and have a future and create jobs and create a legacy for themselves and their family. It's making it very difficult for us to do that with these bigger companies. Maybe there's a way we can come together, put a cap on how low these big companies can go or how much they can take on. I mean, there has to be something that we can do as, small business owners to negate the fact that these bigger companies are taking advantage by lowering down their contract prices to where a small business owner or a small company, they can't afford to do it. Sure, they can hire these guys at low contract rates, and then a year down the road, 6 months down the road, whatever it is, they get tired of these people not doing their jobs because these companies pay their guys crap, and they just sit around in a parking lot all day and they don't really do security work. They just sit around on their phones, watch Netflix, or do what they do. And then they might call us and say, you know what, you kind of get what you pay for at that point. But we shouldn't have to go through that. We shouldn't have to struggle to get a contract at a rate that we can't even afford to pay a guy for what they want us to work on those contracts. So, that's pretty much where the industry has led, especially with big companies. They're even buying out, especially in Florida, they're buying out a lot of small security companies, and they're doing it purposely so that they don't have competition. And they find these little companies that are building up and finally getting somewhere, and then they offer them this crazy amount to the owners, and the owners sell out, and then these bigger companies take those employees and those contracts, and it goes right back to it. It's a never-ending circle of the bigger companies always win, and there's no chance in hell for the smaller guy. So what do you guys do for small business owners in security? Do y'all guys have strategies, anything of that nature that helps you negate the issues of the security industry today with bigger companies, low bidding jobs, and getting them and getting rid of the small business owners, because that's what they're doing. So I'd definitely like to see what you guys have to say, what has worked for you guys in the past, what you might have offered to get contracts over a bigger company that's a little bit less than you are. And I think around the entire U.S., a lot of people are struggling through this because these big companies are everywhere. It doesn't matter what state you're in, these big companies control everything. And that's the way America's corporate design is. And that's, an issue for us. An issue for the small guy or the officer that works for one of these big companies that wants to do something better for himself or change the way things are in his company or her company. And they open it up, they spend all this money, and they fail. Because these bigger companies are, lowballing everything that they get. And so how do you guys deal with that? How do you go about and get those contracts and make it work to where you can afford to pay your guys and you can afford the gas and expense, maintenance on vehicles, uniforms, whatever the case is on those sites that you need? How do you guys come up with a plan and what your plan is? Does it always change, or is it the same thing that you guys do that works out for everyone? We'd love to hear the comments. We'd love to even have some videos. Tag us in some videos. Let's share it so that all the small business owners have a chance. All the small security companies can grow and maybe one day even push out these bigger companies. Because truthfully, it's like a big company that does maintenance on vehicles. Half the time they're messing up on everyone's vehicle because of the turnaround they have. But the smaller guy, the small business owner, who's more reliable, more responsible, and also more on the hook if something goes wrong, and has more to lose, does a 5,000 times better job than the bigger company does. And that's the same with any business or security company. How can we make the industry back to what it was and not what it is today? And I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate any comments, any LinkedIn shared videos, anything of that nature that y'all guys have for us. And let's continue to help each other grow and help each other get out there and get more contracts, because the only people that it will benefit is the people we're protecting and the small business owners, because the big guys aren't going to lose nothing at the end of the day. But once again, guys, you know, let us know what you do. And we appreciate you coming back to our channel, watching a video. Thank you again. And y'all guys be safe out there.